EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
It's 2nd and 8.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now a handoff to Ingram. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Ingram, the ball carrier.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us, looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball is going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Out of bounds at the
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
First down, Cowboys.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
13 yards.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
He's brought down at the 37.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Prescott. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
A 54-yard attempt.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man.
The 43-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
The tackle made.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
27-yard line.
solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
18-yard line.
Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
This time, Jackson will throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the rookie linebacker, Patrick Queen. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
He was brought down by...
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now it's Jackson. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Here's Jackson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Jackson. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
3rd down and 11.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Their own 19-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Prescott from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, They're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Fourth down.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Returning it is Moore. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Their own 49-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Jalen Smith coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Ingram. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 12.
From the gun, Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Everson Griffin make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Ezekiel Elliott, the ball carrier. Tackle made at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Throwing is Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Prescott now from the 50. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver. And he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Now comes the Cowboys punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Now it's Jackson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Fielded at the 43. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Their own 49-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
And his kick is right through. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Elliott. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On third down, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Down, Dallas.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. It's complete to Brown, right side.
Prescott.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
At the 35-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. On the counter, Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
After the sack on 1st down, Prescott, and that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap. Over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
At the 18-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go to Elliott again. The strong running. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. A give to Elliott. He'll have a 1st down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So 2 1st downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing, Prescott. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Prescott. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done, because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now they're not close to the 1st down.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 22.
It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had one tight end that went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage, and you'll see more big plays from the wide receivers downfield.
2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Ingram again. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Intercepted.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Hey, check back 39.
The give is to Elliott. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Cowboy ball carrier.
Calais Campbell on the stop.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
At the 22-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
For the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Zerline pulled it. It's no good. Wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. This one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
21.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
The tackle made by...
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. From the gun, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Makes the score Cowboys 21, Ravens 7.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The first down run for Elliott will net him about 5 yards. It's second down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. From the 28, it's second and 5.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott, and he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking. Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's another week with more questions.